In 1923, a German worker was paid twice a day. Not because he was rich, but because by evening, his money would be worthless. People didn't count cash anymore. They weighed it. A wheelbarrow full of money for a single loaf of bread. And while millions lost everything, there was one asset that didn't just survive. It exploded. Silver. This isn't just history, because the same pattern is starting to appear again. And if you understand what happened back then, you'll understand what's coming next. But here's the problem. Most people think economic collapse looks like a crash, a sudden event, a single moment where everything falls apart. That's not how it works. Real collapse is slow, silent, and almost invisible until it's too late. It starts with small changes. Crises, easing, currencies weakening, confidence fading, and then one day people realize their money doesn't work anymore. That's exactly what happened in Weimar, Germany. After World War I, Germany printed money to pay its debts. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Life continued. Shops were open. Salaries were paid, but underneath, the system was breaking. By 1922, inflation was rising fast. By 1923, it was out of control. Prices doubled in days, then in hours, then in minutes. And the worst part, people didn't see it coming because the system didn't collapse overnight. It eroded quietly until suddenly it was gone. But here's what most people don't know. Not everything collapsed because while paper money failed, real assets behaved very differently. And this is where silver enters the story. Silver wasn't just a metal. It was money for thousands of years. And when trust in paper disappeared, people returned to what had always worked. Something physical, something scarce, something real. As the German mark collapsed, silver prices didn't just rise. They exploded because silver wasn't gaining value. The currency was losing it. And those who held silver weren't getting richer. They were staying alive. This is the part history doesn't teach clearly. Economic collapse doesn't destroy everything equally. It transfers wealth from those holding fragile assets to those holding resilient ones. And silver has always been one of them. But why silver? Why not gold? Why did silver outperform in certain collapses? The answer is simple. Accessibility. Gold protects wealth, but silver protects survival in times of extreme crises. People don't need large reserves of value. They need small, tradable units, food, fuel, daily essentials, and silver fits perfectly into that system. It becomes transactional money, the kind people actually use. That's why in hyperinflation, silver often moves faster than gold because demand shifts from storing wealth to surviving day by day. And this pattern didn't just happen in Germany. It repeated again and again in Argentina during the 2001 collapse. Banks froze accounts. People couldn't access their own money, but physical assets, they kept moving. In Venezuela, hyperinflation destroyed the currency, but those holding hard assets adapted in every collapse. The same truth appears. The system doesn't fail equally. It punishes dependence and rewards preparation. Now, look at today. Rising debt, currency expansion, persistent inflation, and increasing global instability. This doesn't mean collapse is guaranteed, but it does mean the conditions are familiar. And history doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. So the real question isn't, will this happen again? The real question is, if it does, what side of the system will you be on? Because when confidence breaks, it won't matter what your balance says on the screen. It will matter what you actually hold. This is why understanding silver isn't about investing. It's about positioning. Positioning yourself outside the most fragile parts of the system. Because in 1923, the people who survived weren't the smartest. They weren't the richest. They were the ones holding the right assets before everyone else realized. And by the time the crowd understands, it's already too late. So the next time you see silver move, don't just think about price. Think about what it signals. Because history isn't just something we study, it's something we live through. And when the system is tested again, the difference won't be knowledge, it will be preparation. The question is, are you ready for it?